Hi there, this is Brian Simonson, and this is a series of videos designed to show how to use the report writer. We are using an example project to demonstrate all the different functionalities of the report writer. We are nearing the end. I did make a mistake in the last video saying we only had to deal with headers in our report to finish it off, but we actually forgot about bullets. So we're going to discuss bullets, which the practice we're going to use today is essentially using it, actually presenting it as a table. Which is, I think, the most dynamic way to do bullets. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's take a look at our Word document real quick. Here's the bullet. Notice it is left aligned. We want it right over here on the left, so let's pay attention to that later. I've already populated the tag that is at $$ bullet 001. And let's go to the Excel sheet here. And okay, now we're going to go through, we're going to jump straight to take a look at the actual bullets for a second and see how this works. This is just one proposed approach. Just faking a table, basically. Notice, how do you get a bullet? Well, little Excel magic. It's actually Comic Sans letter L. You can select it right here. Oh, it's Wingdings, sorry, Wingdings letter L. Here you can see I've kind of cleaned up some of the logic that we presented in a previous video to come up with these smart sentences that we're going to have for our bullets. And the other little piece here is row 1. It's not really a table, right? You don't want it to be a table with headers, but if you're going to copy and paste this range, screen readers will view it as a table, so you need to give it headers. So what I have done here simply is turn the font to white for the headers for both of these columns, giving a little statement about what is in each of those columns. Then I made the size of the font equal to 2. Again, I made it white. I'm going to make this really, really small, so almost invisible. But the screen readers don't care. They can read it, and it will be 5.0 compliant, and it's ready to go. So now what we need to do is get this thing linked up to the report writer. So let's go to report numbers. Now I have pre-populated all of these for purposes just to keep things moving along, but we're going to go through each and every element. As you can tell, it's just like what we did for doing table 1. So we're going to give it a table ID, bullet 001. Give it a description, tell it what sheet it's at, bullet 1. The range, we use the same concept that we did for tables, so let's go to chart ranges. And here you can see I typed in the ID just for posterity, bullet 001. The tab the data's in, number of columns. And again, the standard logic that we've been using in the previous videos, which counts up the number of rows of data, adds on an extra row for the header row, which is what we want to do here. And we subtract, that minus H7 is subtracting the garbage rows, that is the number of rows with the XX's in them, which is counted up over here. The stop column, B, and voila, there's your range, A1 to A3. That's what we're linking to, or pointing to, right here in cell Q3. Moving on, fit to window, nope, no reason for that. Center, we do not want to do center, so we set it equal to false. Little thingy here, if you don't set it equal to true, the report writer needs to know how to center. It's going to assume left centered in that case. So it's either fit to window or you're telling it to center it. If not, it is going to force it left centered. It doesn't even matter if in the formatting you put the bullets in the middle of the page. It doesn't matter where you put that tag. It's going to overwrite wherever you've centered this. So for example, if you put this here and you actually made this centered right here, doesn't matter. If you didn't put true on how to center the actual table, it's going to put it to the left side. So this is where we actually place this. It's almost meaningless. Actually, not almost. It is meaningless. Moving on. Word table template. No, we're copying and pasting. We don't have a template in Word to be populating here, so we can leave this blank. Top row is our header. A little bit of alt text. And I don't really want any padding. The way it looks in Excel looks perfectly fine to me. So we're going to leave it just like that. All right. Well, that's it. That's how we get the bullets together. And you've seen I put the bullet tag in the Word document. Next up, headers. You've seen in previous videos, we've always had this header, Company A report, showing. Well, that was hard typed from the client, right? So what we're going to do is clear that out. The way you could clear out a header is simply go to the document, click up here towards the top, hit right click, and hit Edit Header. All right. I just cleared out what was there before. Now, by the way, even if you had stuff here, if you use the headers functionality, I believe it just clears out anything you might have here anyway. But just to be nice and clean about it, we cleared it out. All right, now let's go back to Excel, and we're going to go over to the Headers and Footers tab. That's right, there's also footers. So if you want to, you could also put stuff in the footer. Today we're just doing a header. As you can see, I've done a little bit of Excel-based magic to come up with Company B report for the header for every page. Now, notice that there's sections 1 through 5. So you can create section breaks in your document. If you do, then you can specify different headers for different sections, up to 5 sections. This can be very valuable if you don't want, say, a header on your front page, on your cover page, or you want a different header for your table of contents page, etc. In this case, we just want one standard header, but it is a nice functionality to have, so keep that in mind. I guess I also do have alignment functionality here, where you can write left, center, or right aligned, and we're going to just do center aligned headers here. All right. Well, now that we've done that, now notice there are no tags in the headers and footers. It just places the whole thing and takes over the header and footer functionality. With that last note, I think we're done, guys. I think we've reached the end of our voyage. So I'm going to hit save just to double check. I am going to shut down our little template document, close that. So, oh yeah, it says I was messing around. I was doing a little messing around. We'll hit save. And now we'll go to the Report Writer tab. And just for fun, oh, there's one thing I'm going to point out. I'm going to run it for both reports, both companies, which we had 2. We have not talked about this actually. The loop list tab. When you're running run all reports, the loop list must be populated with the reports you want to loop through. Seems simple enough, but hey, we're going to do Company A and Company B. So now that that's all set up, we can hit run all reports, and it's going to run through and create both reports. So we'll give it a second to do this. And as it's going to retrieve reports. It's going to populate all your numbers and tables, your charts, your figures, headers, It's going to keep going. Goes pretty quickly. And we'll go review what it produced. Just for fun, we'll go ahead and look at just report number 2 because we have been reported. Let's go ahead and go check it out. Go to final reports. We'll go ahead and look at. We'll look at Project B just for Company B for fun. All right, so let me make this a little bigger if we don't mind, real quick. Just a quick perusal. There's Company B report up in the header now. Right. Same charts, tables, charts, all 508 compliant, and there's our left align bullets. No one knows the wiser unless you were to kind of mess around and notice it's a table. Click it, and you can see that little itty bitty row right there that's going to make it 508 compliant. And there you have it, folks. We have a very dynamic functional report that's changing numbers and texts and updating charts with the right number of bars and bullets with the right number of rows, and it's all 508 compliant. And you never have to touch it again until the client changes their mind and comes up with a whole new format next quarter, right? But that's okay. You got the report writer to help you out. So we have reached the end of our tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you now start to play around with the different functionalities of the report writer and makes your life, I hope, a little bit easier. There will be other videos that will dive more into some of the more powerful table making devices that we do, where we basically go straight to the Word document and we almost skip making tables in Excel. It is super powerful if you want to produce hundreds of tables, which we do have. I have had projects that do that. And of course, we'll just also have some ad hoc videos where that might help just with the nuances of the report writer in the future. But I hope this is a good start for everybody. Again, good luck and thank you.